What's going on, everyone? I'm Rob Cardini, joined alongside James Martin III, and welcome back into another edition of the Hillside Club, where there are no hot takes, just real ones. I hope everyone had a great weekend. James, did you have a nice Valentine's Day weekend?
Oh, I can't stand. All right, you know what? I had a great Valentine's Day. I had a great one. Did you?
Mine was chill. It was a relaxing weekend for me.
Okay.
Nonetheless, it was still a good weekend, no doubt. We got a great episode coming to you guys today. A lot of fun topics to discuss. Before we get into those, though, on behalf of James and I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who tuned in to episode 1, everyone who followed, subscribed, interacted with our content. We appreciate it. It means the world to us. We want to build a community with our viewers. We want to build a Hillside Club community. You know, James and I have talked about a segment, kind of an Ask Hillside segment, where if you guys want to throw a comment where you want us to discuss a certain something that's going on in the sports world, the pop culture world, anything that you think it's relevant, we'll talk about it. So throw it in the comments. We'll have that segment coming to you guys shortly. But let's get right into it. So NBA All-Star Weekend. There was some good, there was some bad, but once again, not a whole lot of great. James, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I know I saw a post yesterday from the Hoops View on Instagram, and it was like, oh, did Adam Silver just save his legacy? And I'm saying no, I don't think he did. I mean, he was off to a hot start with I guess they changed the dress code. Now players can wear different shoes, and they got all sorts of new spaces that the NBA can move into. But I don't know. In the last few years, I mean, now we're seeing logos on the NBA jerseys. We're seeing logos on the court. I mean, for some reason, they took the NBA Finals logo off of the court during the NBA Finals. So I mean, there's a lot going on in the NBA that I don't really agree with, and I think it's taken away from the authenticity that it used to have. And I mean, I will say this All-Star Weekend, they got to do it in big cities. They got to stop with the small markets. They really need to stop. Because when you do it in a bigger city, you get, the star power that kind of, I guess, takes the weekend to another level. But I saw a few videos, I'm not going to lie, from this All-Star Weekend where it didn't look like there was a lot of people in the stadium.
Not at
all. At the new Intuit Dome there, right next to the SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. I saw on Friday night, they had the Rising Stars Challenge. And I think that's honestly been the best night of the All-Star Weekend in the past 5 years or so, is the Rising Stars Challenge, where you get young guys, and they've actually incorporated the G League now. So you get a G League team. They did 4 teams. They had Vince Carter, Carmelo Anthony, Tracy McGrady, and Austin Rivers coaching teams. And I think Austin Rivers, because, he wasn't in the G League for long, but, he got to coach that G League team, and you got to see them really put in effort that we don't see throughout All-Star Weekend. So I think that was the best night, honestly, was seeing, especially the UConn guys. You got to see Klingen, you could see Pat Spencer, Stephon Castle, and Tristan Newton. Those 4 guys from, I think, arguably the greatest NCAA team or NCAA tournament team in history. All 4 of those guys get to play against each other during the Rising Stars Challenge. But that was, I think, the best moment from the weekend. I will say the game on Saturday or Sunday they were a lot better than last year. Last year was, again, abysmal. Like I said last episode, I think it was a disgrace to basketball everywhere on this planet. But the games yesterday weren't too bad. I will say for the first 7 minutes of the games, they're not trying. They're not showing the effort that we saw in the 2000s or the 90s, where guys were actually getting up and down the floor like it was another game. Until that last minute comes around, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool to see them work. I like to see Kawhi. He's back home. He's in LA, so he knew he was going to put on a show. But to see guys like Wemby and Ant really want it, that's what the NBA needs. We need these 2 guys to be the face of the NBA moving forward.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I think you touched on a lot of great points. It seemed like there were parts of the weekend where the NBA took a step forward in the All-Star game improving. And then there were a bunch of things where it's like, nope, still not good enough. I mean, you talked about the arenas looking empty. On TV, they did a great job hiding that. They had dim lighting in the background with all those lights on the seats flashing. You couldn't tell if anybody's there. But then you see these fan videos, and it's like nobody was at these events. You talked about the Rising Stars game being really good. It was only showed on Peacock, I believe. It wasn't on NBC.
No.
So, I mean, you arguably have your best event with the most competitive basketball, but it's only on a streaming service, which I don't think... I mean, maybe 70% of people in America have that streaming service. So you're doing a disservice to the game from that sense. Then you move to Saturday, where you have the 3-point contest, which is arguably the best event of the whole weekend, year in and year out, because it's simply shooting. I mean, I don't know how you don't try in that. It starts at 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific time. What are we doing? Who approved that? Who thought that was a good idea? But according to Adam Silver, it's all about how it's a young audience and they're on their phones anyway and streaming services. I just think that's a terrible, terrible idea. I mean, the dunk contest, we get into that, but I want to stick on the 3-point contest for just a minute. So obviously Damian Lillard hasn't played a game all year, comes back, wins the 3-point contest. Is Damian Lillard the second best shooter of all time behind Steph Curry?
No. Not at all.
No?
He's great. He's a great in-game clutch shooter.
Okay, so give me your top 5.
Top 5 shooter. You said is he behind Steph Curry?
I said is he second best behind Curry? So give me your top 5.
Top 5
then.
shooters in NBA history. I'm gonna put obviously Steph Curry at number 1.
I would agree.
Then I'm gonna put Ray Allen at number 2.
Okay.
Then Klay Thompson at 3. Then Reggie Miller at 4. And I think Dame comes in at 5. The only reason why I will not take it away, or I won't take it away from Reggie Miller, is because he played in a different era. He played in an era where they weren't jacking threes the way they are now. And, you know, when you saw a 3 go up from Reggie, I mean, as Knicks fans, I'm sure older Knicks fans watching, you knew it was going in. And that was at a time where they didn't unload the clip like they do now. So, you know, Klay Thompson, it's like a robot with him. He's got to be up there. Ray Allen, another guy. Like, his form is what every kid should, you know, embody when they're practicing and learning their form themselves.
Lillard's got range, though.
He's got range. He's got range. But I feel like, again, we're talking 3-point shooters. I think Lillard has so much to his game.
Okay.
And, again, I know that shouldn't take away from his ability or his ranking on the all-time 3-point shooting list, but he's got so much to his game. He gets up and down the floor. He's a point guard that facilitates. He's a 3-level scorer. So it's like he's not just a sharpshooter to me. Like, yes, I think he's an all-time shot maker.
Yeah.
Like I think in terms of 3-point shots, the Warriors had Curry and Klay Thompson running through so many off-ball screens to get the ball and just spot up shots. I think Dame honestly needs to be in that conversation for like scoring the ball and like one of the all-time greatest scorers. But the thing about him is he doesn't have a lot of accolades to his name, and it takes away from his legacy. But hey, he stayed true and he stayed out there in Portland. He just went back to Portland, which is, I think, insane. But I guess it's the end of his career. He wants to wind down. He wants to be near his family. So I understand it. But I think he's probably number 5. I don't know who we'd put at 6 though. Like I know.
I would say I think that's a solid list. I think one person that you didn't put on there that a lot of older people would be mad about is Larry Bird. I think a lot of people would want Larry Bird up there higher.
I can't put him above.
I wouldn't. I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, I'm not. Everybody that you named, I would put in front of Larry Bird. I think the legend of Larry Bird himself is what would kind of bump him up for so many people. I wouldn't put him there, but I think you had a solid list. When I saw Dame, we haven't seen Dame in so long, and he comes back, basically effortlessly won that event. I mean, compared to all the other guys, it just looks like it's just another day in the gym for him.
Yeah.
And it just got me thinking, like, he's definitely up there.
See,
greatest shooters.
When we look
time.
at the list, we've got Steph Curry at 1. This is all-time made 3-point, right? Steph Curry's at 1. Guess who's number 2 is? Just happened recently.
Don't even tell me. It's what? No. Okay.
He's on the list though. He's on the list.
Yeah, I don't know.
Number 2 is James Harden. That's another one who
Wow.
like he could be up there, but again, he's a 3-level scorer.
Yeah.
So it's
you
a
don't
little
think
different.
of, you think of
Yeah.
his step back, but you don't think of 3-point
because
shooting.
they shoot so many. Like
yeah.
they just, like
that
every,
Rockets team chucked up 30 a game.
You watch the NBA today, and honestly, like I'll sit there and watch a game with my dad, and he's like, "All right, yeah, are they gonna shoot another 3-pointer?" Like it's like every time down the floor, it's a 3 or nothing, and it's one and done, or a long rebound, another 3 goes up. But yeah, so we got James Harden at 2, then we got Ray Allen at 3, Klay Thompson at 4, Damian Lillard at 5, LeBron James is at 6, and again, he's not an all-time great 3-point shooter. I think he just has been in the league so long.
Yeah, it's just a longevity stat. No need to pay attention to that.
Other guys who got up there, Reggie Miller's at 7, Kyle Korver at 8, another sharp shooter.
Yeah.
Paul George is at 9, and then Kevin Durant at 10. I think that's, again, another longevity thing. So I don't know. Like, these guys up here, they're all elite.
Yeah.
They're all elite shooters. I don't know about LeBron in terms of 3-point field goal percentage, but I don't know. I think that's the list I'd go with.
Yeah, no, definitely a solid list. So that was 3-point contest. Another event, abysmal. Once again, they got to get rid of the dunk contest. I don't know if the stars are not going to do it. Either get guys off the street in New York who can pull out some crazy dunks we've never seen before, or just cancel the event. It was. I mean, again, I don't think casual NBA fans knew who was participating. I saw a stat that last 4 slam dunk champions have played a combined 47 career games in the NBA. I don't know if that's 100% confirmed, but it makes sense because Mac McClung.
Yeah,
I mean,
they. Oh my goodness, they milked that one out.
These are guys that nobody knows. I mean, Jackson Hayes dunked from basically the circle and thought he was MJ. I don't know why that event is still in place. Even the other event with the skill shooting, like the spot shooting challenge.
I will say that wasn't bad, but it turned into like a spectacle. Like, I know Drewski's hilarious, but
it doesn't fit the vibe. I mean, if you're trying to restore All-Star Weekend, get rid of that. And I think what I would do is, based off what Jaylen Brown kind of endorsed, doing like a 1v1 tournament like the girls did.
Yeah.
I would get rid of those 2 events, the dunk contest and that skill shooting challenge, and do a 1v1 tournament. The winner gets $5 million. Because we have talked about this off camera, and you brought up a great point in the sense that the All-Stars are the guys making the most money. So what is a bonus really going to incentivize? Now, 1v1s might give them enough, edge anyway, because who wants to lose a 1v1 on national television?
Yeah.
But with the amount of sponsors the NBA has, someone will sponsor that and give the winner $5 million and then match that and give the other $5 million to a charity of their choice. So just give them that extra incentive. Do a 1v1 contest. It'll probably automatically be the best event of the weekend.
Yeah. Honestly, this is kind of off topic, but I saw a TikTok last night, and it was basically like 3 ways to get better at golf, right? And the number 1 was get your distances right. Number 2 was tempo your swing. And the third was like a flashing meme of the word ego, right? And I think that's the biggest issue the NBA has right now is there's a lot of ego. Ever since Adam Silver came in to be the commissioner, a lot of power has went towards the players. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think it's a great thing. However, consequences come with that, and that's the players' egos. And I don't think we're ever going to see something like that in the NBA simply because, at least now, maybe hopefully in the future with guys like Wemby and Ant leading the way that, look for these moments. But there's a lot of guys with fragile egos. Like, I think guys like KD would do amazing at a 1v1 tournament. Like, you see him in the USA basketball summer camps, and he's just torching everyone out there. Like it's clockwork for him. There's really levels to this when you watch, them out there in Nevada practicing. But there's a lot of guys that just don't want to go out there and make themselves look crazy. Like you go back and you look at the dunk competition, right? I mean, again, I didn't even know the winner, Kashad Johnson. I didn't know I didn't know he was on the Heat. I didn't know who he was. All I know is that he likes to dance after every single dunk. I don't know what was going on with that. But he won, and he beat Carter Bryant, who is a rookie. He's 19. He's 3 years younger than us. And I mean, he played 1 year at Arizona. Like, he's just, trying to have a good time, right? So it's like it doesn't look like something that you really want to, tune into. And I think it's because a lot of guys have egos. There's no reason why John Morant is not in the dunk competition. There's no reason why guys like Anthony Edwards and these guys that jump out the gym are not in the dunk competition. But at the same time, I can't even be mad at them because we've seen most of these dunks 10 times over now. It's like it gets to a certain point where we're not going to see anything new anymore.
Yeah, I agree. But I also think a lot of the guys that I think like when I know in-game dunking doesn't always translate. That's why I brought up the idea of like guys have talked about it. Analysts have said, go get guys off the street that are doing some crazy dunk packages. But I think just having the star power name, it just makes the dunk better. It could be the same dunk, but because it's Ja Morant, it's just going to be cooler. And I think that's why you have to do it. But once again, when there's a precedent set that, hey, the biggest stars in the league aren't going to do it anymore, we all know who started that trend. They don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, Ja tweeted that last year that, hey, they might make him really do it. I don't know whatever happened to that because that would have been sick. I mean, you think about Ja and even Giannis in the dunk. I mean, it would get the fans back into All-Star Weekend as a whole. I think when you dissect it event to event, it's very easy to nitpick. But if you just have a collectively good weekend and it just felt like one big show, that's what makes it great. And we talk about the 1v1 tournament. There's Adam Silver loves tournaments. He's known as Tourney Man. He got the round robin kind of style on Sunday. And that's going to bring
the play in.
So he added the play in season tournament. And that brings us to our next segment, which is the open to work segment. And this week it is going to be Adam Silver because he has tried so many different things. And I applaud him for trying so many different things. But adding all these tournaments does not seem to be the key to success. Adam Silver, it's time to fire up that LinkedIn, buddy.
Yeah, and like I said before, I saw that post and it was like, oh, he saved his legacy. No, he didn't.
No, not at all.
Why is everyone so okay with mediocrity? Like, what is going on in society that we're just okay with just being mediocre? The NBA is in a terrible place right now.
LeBron.
It's in a terrible place. And he's part of the reason why. I know his fans hate that, but like he's part of the reason why. And in society and history, everyone always, you lead by example, right? And those that come after you will follow, right? Like we look up to our elders. We follow what we see, their mannerisms, everything they do. We follow that, right? Like that's how we reenact our lives in a way. And I saw Kevin Durant kind of ask the question. He was like, everyone saw asking about the old heads, the old heads not putting in effort. Why is everyone just looking at us? You guys set the precedent. Like you guys set the way the next generation of NBA players are going to hold themselves at these events, right? So I'm looking at, so he goes, oh, why are we not looking at the young guys? Like we're not looking at Luka and Jokic. Luka and Jokic, their first all-star game, when you guys went out there, it was BS. It was nothing. The game, you guys walked up and down the court for however long. I think the game was in Cleveland a few years ago. They walk up and down the court, nothing happens until the last 30 seconds, and they score whoever gets first to 50, or that's how it was.
Yeah.
Like, lead by example. Why is everyone always shunning away from accountability in the NBA? I don't understand what is going on, and I hate what's going on with the All-Star weekend. Like, it pisses me off. Last episode, this used to be like a huge weekend in my life. Like, I used to really, oh my gosh, I can't wait. It's coming around, like, All-Star Weekend, Rising Stars, dunk competition. And then for NBC to start these games at 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific is so disgusting. Like, I understand you have the rights to the Winter Olympics in Milan. So your number one thing is, hey, we're going to make sure that people are tuning into the Winter Olympics. But some of us care. Some of us care. I'd rather watch the All-Star game, All-Star games to be more specific. Like, I'd rather watch that. I know some people rather watch the Winter Olympics, but they shouldn't come in the way of each other, right? Another thing that I need to get off my chest, the fact that, like, growing up, we see those guys from TNT, Chuck, Kenny, Shaq, Ernie. The fact that they were nowhere to be seen during this All-Star weekend really it was kind of weird for me. Like, I just not hearing those voices after you've heard them for the last 20 years, not being at All-Star weekend, it kind of sucked. It really did. And I mean, it's really shame on the NBA for how they've gone about, switching up their networks. And, now we're on 3 different streaming platforms, and you don't know where to watch the game one day. On Tuesday, the game is on Peacock it's on NBC in your territory, but when the later game comes on, now it's on Peacock, and then vice versa. So a lot going on. They make it so hard to watch games. That could be a whole 30-minute segment if we wanted to. But they got a lot they got to fix, and I don't understand how Adam Silver saved his legacy.
No.
He's open to work.
I completely agree. And it's like, again, I applaud him for trying so many different things to, he tried the in-season tournament to make that more competitive. I think the guys definitely tried a little bit, but there's just so many different things. It's like 400 different sponsorships being thrown at you now every time you watch an NBA game. I think I saw a tweet the other day that was like, David Stern ran the NBA like a dictatorship, and he did it for a reason.
Yeah.
And I understand the tweet, because you just see the state of the NBA, and I get how, Adam Silver's trying to grow the game as much as possible international wise, and he's trying just so many different things. But I think that by doing so, it's taking away from, just the basics. And when you lose sight of the little things, like the integrity of the game, just everything just seems to crumble a little bit. And the quality and what you're putting out there isn't as good on a nightly basis. So maybe it's time for a new commissioner.
I don't think that's crazy. I really don't think so. Yeah, and I know it's tough, like, going through that whole process for the NBA, but like, they've been speaking about expanding the league and maybe making divisions matter. Who knows what's going to happen? I know the NBA Board of Governors are meeting, I think, towards the end of this year, but there's just a lot of moving parts in the NBA. And I will say, you mentioned, like, there's ads everywhere. And I know people go back and say, well, you look at soccer, there's ads everywhere there too. I mean, they wear a bunch on their jersey. It's all over the field, not on the field, but it's all over the siding in soccer. And here's my thing. When you compare and contrast, soccer, the product is the product. It will never change. Soccer will be soccer, and it is always going to stay that way, right? Like, the game may have changed slightly with, it's less skill-based and more, athletic-based and, pace. But we watch 45 minutes, you get a little bit of stoppage time, you go to halftime, you come back out, 45 minutes straight. Authentic. That's what you watch. When you sit down and watch a soccer match, you're going to watch soccer, and that's all you're going to watch. You're going to watch a few pundits talk at half, and that's it. And then you get right back to the product. So don't compare. I know Adam Silver is trying to follow this strategy of almost being like the next world sport, which, yes, basketball is, I believe, a top 3 most popular sport in the world. But you're not soccer. I mean, you have 3 commercial breaks every quarter. We sit through commercials. There's ads on the court. Like, there's ads on the jersey. It's everywhere. It's like it's everywhere. And it's a little much now, and it shows. I mean, they're doing Berlin, they're doing Mexico City, they're doing London. They're just doing a whole lot and not focusing on their main product. And I think they've kind of lost the plot. So, like Rob said, he's open to work. He's open to work.
Yeah, definitely. Again, it seemed like they took a couple steps forward this All-Star break, but still took about 20 back. So that'll do it for the NBA All-Star game. We'll just see what they have in store, I guess, next year and down the stretch. I mean, Adam Silver's got another problem on his hands now with the tanking issue. That's literally a whole other conversation that you have to deal with, which is the tanking. We didn't even touch on that, but that's just yet another problem that he's facing. Again, it's a tough job, but it's like all these problems are rising under his belt, and it's like nothing. It feels like nothing is going his way. But that's partially because of him. I mean, you brought up it's as simple as to me as the NBA Finals court, where so many people had to beg for that logo to be on the court. And then it was just, I believe it was just done computer generated wise, correct? It wasn't actually like in the hardwood of the court.
Yeah, it was a graphic.
Yeah,
It was a graphic coming from like you said, they're thinking of getting rid of the NBA draft. That's one of your staple events. That is one thing that we tune into every year to see who's going to be the top guy in the draft. Who are going to be the guys that we saw from the NCAA tournament? First of all, again, a great draft this year. We have an amazing freshman class coming out of college basketball.
Unbelievable.
But that is one of your signature events during the year. You've got Christmas Day. You've got All-Star event. You've got the NBA draft. You've got Summer League, whatever it is. And you're thinking of getting rid of it? I mean, like, I really, again, like you said, it's the simplest mistakes and the simplest decisions they just tend to make so difficult for no reason. I don't understand why you'd ever get rid of the NBA draft, and they're thinking of turning the guys into free agents as soon as the season starts. Again, insane, blasphemous news coming out of the NBA. But hey, they've got a lot of issues. And then my last thing here is the NBA is really big on their NBA R&D, Research and Development Center, whatever they've got. I saw the NBA was testing this new camera angle for fans to tune into. It would be essentially an automated, like a game that is currently happening. Let's say it's Knicks Celtics, right? The game's going on and they've got multiple cameras in the arena and it tracks where players are at the time. And if you want to tune into what the player is seeing, you can on like via the NBA app or whatever it is. And it's like, you see stuff like that. Does the NBA think they're Apple? Does he think he's Steve Jobs? He's sitting up there talking about the NBA R&D. Here goes what we're dropping. Fix the product. Fix the product. What I was talking to one of my good friends last week, and he said the one thing that he remembers from the NBA Finals outside of the actual game itself was seeing the YouTube TV ad on the court. What is going on? I'm getting pissed off because this is my favorite sport. I grew up loving basketball. I'm starting to get angry with the NBA and their decision making. It is time for a change. I don't know what they're gonna do, but something's got to give very soon. That's my last thing. I'm honestly getting tired of talking about the NBA. I got speechless right now.
Oh God, we'll change gears here. We'll head over to the NFL. Kind of surprise news today. Tyreek Hill released from the Dolphins along with Bradley Chubb. So that's big news in the NFL where we know that nobody was kind of expecting to happen right now. Tyreek Hill turns 32 this March 1st. He's recovering from the torn ACL injury, dislocated knee as well. I think Tyreek still got a lot in the tank. I mean, his speed alone is a weapon. Maybe he won't be as fast as he once was, but it's still, Tyreek Hill gets released from a team. That's still pretty big news. Same with Bradley Chubb, only 29 years old, can still give you a lot of solid edge rushing. So any ideas for a potential landing spot for Tyreek Hill?
I saw a tweet. Again, I don't know what's wrong with the Giants fan base, but our fan base isn't too bright sometimes. With they just throw out. Maybe it's just the New York sports media, but they just throw out any idea under the sun. And it was kind of like, hey, do you want a Tyreek Hill who's been through injuries and he's on the back end of his career? Not even just the back end; he's at the end. I wouldn't hate it. I'm gonna ask you the same question. Like, would you want a Tyreek Hill on the Steelers? But I don't know. I don't know where he'll end up. Maybe some team takes the chance. Does he retire? Like, will he play? He already wanted out of Miami.
I don't think so.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
I don't think so. I wouldn't want him on the Steelers personally. We already have like one vet receiver, Metcalf. I think the Steelers need to go in the direction of a young guy in the draft and kind of let him develop into hopefully what could be a wide receiver one day. But I think we talk about this a lot on camera, and I don't know how. There's a lot of distractions in Miami, and outside of the super team that was formed on the Heat, it's really hard to find success for these Miami sports teams. Just a lot of distractions going on down there. So I think if Tyreek goes back to a place where it's just strictly business, and the business being football, I think we can still see Tyreek be a great wide receiver in this league. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not a Chiefs hater. I wouldn't hate seeing a reunion in Kansas City. I think they desperately need a real weapon for Mahomes again. They filtered through so many guys since Tyreek left. It has not worked out. Kelsey is aging. I don't even know if he's retiring, what the deal with that is. That's all up in arms, but I wouldn't hate a Tyreek reunion in Kansas City. I know one of our friends who's a Niners fan mentioned, could we see Tyreek going to the Niners? That wouldn't be a bad addition for them because we know Ayuk has played his last down as a Niner.
Well, yeah, if they're looking into that conspiracy theory with the electrical,
yeah, it might not be great with his name.
Yeah, it wouldn't be great. I mean, I know firsthand that you're not going to be the same athlete after a knee injury. So, and I will say the number one thing about Tyreek Hill was his speed. Like, he's not a great contact catcher. He doesn't attack the ball out of the air. He's not, oh, hey, I'm going to go up and grab the ball. He's a shorter guy. You can place him anywhere you want on the field, outside, inside, whatever, because of his speed alone. But is he going to be as explosive when he comes back? We don't know. And that explosiveness was his number one factor. Like, that was his X factor. So who knows what's going to happen? Who knows if we're going to get the same guy back? Like, who do we really know? But, Bradley Chubb, too, these are guys that are getting old. We don't know where they're going to actually land. But, I guess Bradley Chubb is 29 years old. He's kind of still in his prime for pass rush value in a sense. So,
yeah.
And it isn't just pass rush with Bradley Chubb. Like, he's a guy that gives you kind of like situational disruption in a game. So a lot of teams could take something like that right now. So I think they're in two little different situations right now. I think they're going in for that whole new rebuild. So I understand them moving forward from them. So yeah, I mean, reuniting Tyreek with KC, it's a big storyline, and he fits Andy Reid's offense. So makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, 100%. So it'll be interesting to see where Tyreek and Chubb end up. It'll also be interesting to see who ends up being released before free agency gets going here pretty soon, I believe. But we joked about it earlier this episode about Valentine's Day. I don't know if anybody else spent the majority of their Valentine's Day on the couch watching college basketball, but man, this season just has not disappointed one bit. We had another great weekend of college basketball games. Texas Tech goes on the road and upsets Arizona just hours after Kansas gets the brakes just blown off them versus Iowa State. Just so much going on in college basketball. I mean, this season has just been absolutely incredible. We have another great matchup coming up tonight. Houston goes to Iowa State. I mean, we could probably see another upset happen there. The Cyclones just in front of that home crowd. I mean, I've talked about it here before. I mean, the home court advantage in college basketball is just unlike any other. So a lot of big games. James, favorite game from the weekend?
I will say I did love that Texas Tech game.
Mm-hmm.
Overtime, Texas Tech, Arizona. We see Arizona lose their number one spot in the AP poll that just dropped. Texas Tech has a defensive identity that can be dangerous come March. We see it every single year with Houston. The thing about Houston is they can't get over the hump, which, again, getting over the hump in college basketball is not easy. Like, that's not something that, we should just say, oh, Purdue, they don't get it done. No, you get to the Final Four. There's a reason why they raise banners for getting to the Final Four. You beat out 16 other teams to get to that spot. So I'm not taking it away from Houston. But the thing is, that defensive identity that Texas Tech has is something close to Houston. The thing about Texas Tech is I believe that they can score the basketball way better. So that was one of my favorite games. I will say that Kansas-Iowa State game was kind of a tough watch, especially after I was so high. I think we both were so high on Kansas last week. Just to see them miss so many opportunities. They were kind of still in the game with 8 minutes left, and they were just missing opportunities. And I will say Iowa State was making some insane shots, and you kind of talked about it on your own about how huge home court advantage is in college basketball. And
Yeah.
it really showed in that game. But man, March basketball does not wait for March. Like
Mm-mm.
the
Not at
madness
all.
is starting now, and it's starting early. And that's what we're going to see more and more with years to come with college basketball and college sports just in general, with the NIL and the transfer portal, guys being able to go wherever they want. The competition, the playing field is getting way more even, which means, yes, it sucks for the mid-major teams. We're going to see less out of them in the tournament. We'll see maybe less upsets, but we will see come the round of 32, Sweet 16, we're going to get a lot of great matchups, and teams will be way more evenly matched up.
Oh yeah, I mean look at Wisconsin from this weekend. They pulled off an upset versus Michigan State. I think that was Friday night. I mean Wisconsin's a team where I think that now I saw a couple people talking about how Wisconsin can be a first round exit in the tournament or make a magical run to the Final Four. Like that's just how they have that feel to them. I mean, there's so many of those teams this year. I mean, even like I blank, but I think you were talking about mid majors. I mean, even like a St. Louis is a team that people are like the way they shoot the ball. I mean, that's what March is all about. One thing, did you see the fight in the St. John's game? I mean, that was absolutely,
oh my god,
absolutely insane. But I loved it though. I mean, obviously, again, I think we talked about this last week. You don't want fighting in basketball, but I love the tenacity of the field. It was a terrible foul. Like there's no room for that in the game. Yeah, it wasn't good, but I mean, with a haircut like that, I can't be. I mean, we're not gonna act like we didn't expect it. That haircut is awful. I mean, he honestly should be suspended just for having a haircut like that. I can't believe one of his teammates doesn't tell him to go figure that out. But I mean, it was a crazy fight for especially college hoops.
Yeah, but that's the intensity. And again, I hate to bring up the NBA again, but when there's only 30 games in a season and you get maybe 20 conference games, I think 15 certain conferences in that range, every single game matters. Another reason why the NBA shouldn't follow in the footsteps of soccer. In soccer, and let's take the Prem or La Liga, whatever it is, there's 20 teams. You play 38 games. You play every team once, home and away. So every single game matters. In the NBA, they play 82 games, and I'm not saying you got to cut down the season, but it'll never be the same. The games are shorter. You play so many of them. You're on the road every other day. It's never going to be the same. In college basketball, they play maybe 2 games a week, and those 2 games can be the deciding factor in their season. So that's the intensity. This is why I've grown to love college basketball so much in my lifetime. It's like every single game matters. From the start of December or from December when they start playing those conference games, every single game matters. So, and especially now in like the Big Ten, now that there is no Pac-12 or the Pac-12 is, I guess, taking a year off, now it's like you have to make the Big Ten tournament. The bottom 4 teams don't make the tournament automatically. So you're fighting. I mean, sometimes we've seen Cinderella runs where like Penn State did it a few years ago. Like they weren't a top team in the Big Ten.
Not at all.
Somehow they made a Cinderella run all the way to the conference championship. And that kind of was the deciding factor for them to get into the tournament. And, we're not going to see a lot of that anymore because those bottom teams are not going to have the chance to even make the run because they don't make it with these new power conferences. So, man, I can't wait for this tournament. I honestly just can't wait for Champ Week. Like, that is going to be amazing. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. The Big 12 looks amazing. The Big 10 has, it's really top-heavy. The ACC will be great. The Big East, I feel like we know the 2 teams that will probably come out of that tournament saying they had a successful tournament. And then the SEC every year has just been pouring in teams into the tournament. So, I can't wait for the end of February and the start of March to come around.
Yeah, no, it's a great time to be a college basketball fan. I mean, like you said, NBA regular season, not so great. College basketball regular season, always phenomenal. Every possession matters. I mean, you even talked, or not you, but Dan Hurley talked about in a rant about, the home crowd not being, it wasn't a sellout crowd, but he talked about how like having a home crowd that's involved with every single possession, a dunk, a made 3, and the crowd gets into it. It matters. Like the players feed off of that. And you can see the intensity that they play with. So yeah, it's just been an unbelievable college basketball season. There's so many we talk about other leagues being a star-driven league, and then, college basketball is usually about like stories of a team and how they fit as a role. There's a lot of stars in college basketball this year, and we're finding out a lot about those guys. We're just finding out a lot about those teams.
And I will say the best part about this year, and I guess you could say in the past few NBA drafts, is the NBA in these last 5 years or so have gone to Europe for their talent.
Mm-hmm.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they had Alex Sarr, Zachary Richardson, Victor Wembanyama. They've gotten a lot of names. Even they went to the G League Ignite, with Scoot Henderson and a bunch of guys that have, like LaMelo Ball. They haven't come out of college, but this year we're getting those top names are all coming out of college basketball this year. So, like you also mentioned, how the atmosphere plays a factor. Dan Hurley goes on that rant about no one showing up. I looked at the tickets because I wanted to go to the game. At Gamble in stores on campus, the last row in the arena was $167. I mean, the Garden, you go to a Knicks game, the last row is probably $180 to see a Knicks game. I don't know what the basketball or UConn basketball, who they think they are, but if we bring it down a little bit.
Back-to-back champs before.
They're back-to-back champs, but they played
2 and 3 years.
13-10 Georgetown.
Yeah, well.
It's not like I'm going to go see, Jalen Brunson and
I know.
And a Knick team that's third or second in the East.
Not a lot going on around stores. All those people that live up in that neck of the woods, you got to show out. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, listen, it is a little pricey, but I think Dan Hurley, I mean, I don't think he was wrong for calling out the crowd. I mean, what they've done, how they've kind of rebuilt that program, got to show out a little bit more. But again, just a great time in college basketball. We get to see who's fraudulent, who's not. And, speaking of fraudulent activity, now who you fooling segment, here we go. This week, Kevin Durant, buddy, what are we doing? Getting caught on the burner? Not a good look. Not a good look for Kevin Durant. I mean, it's always a speculation of if it's true. All the signs are pointing to that it is true. I don't think Kevin Durant's ever going to come out and say, oh, yeah, that was me on my burner talking trash about so many different people. A lot of people finding ways to confirm it, but just a nasty look.
I don't think we've ever seen a case like this where a guy loves what he does so much to the point where it consumes his whole life. You can say Tom Thibodeau, I think, again, not confirmed, but I'm pretty sure he put off a wedding because he loved basketball so much. Something of that sort. But Kevin Durant is right there. He's right there. He's turning 38 this year. We have not seen like a public girlfriend. Not that I care, because who cares what these guys do in their free time with their personal life. But we have not seen, a public girlfriend in some time. We haven't seen, no children yet. And he just loves ball. I saw a clip. He was in the club looking at his form. He was getting form. He's form shooting in the club. He just loves basketball. I'm sure he's got multiple burners out there. I wouldn't put it past him, but that's hilarious. Like, it's hilarious to see him get caught up like that. I thought it was fake when I saw it this morning.
Yeah, I mean, at first glance, he gets caught on a burner, but then like the amount of like tweets that were rolling out, the different screenshots, why it added up. I mean, I even saw one tweet talking about how like the person was basically mocking him, saying, I know somebody panicking when I see it. And he's literally in between games at the All-Star game, just typing away on his phone. I think he knew he got caught too, but I mean, some of the things that were said about teammates and other things, I mean, it was really stuff that only KD would know. So, but just a crazy look, something that we would say not about it. Just that kind of behavior is not about it at all.
Not fooling me. I don't know. We got another, not who you fooling, but they're not going to get past Bink with this one. The Yankees, the New York Yankees. They're running it back. Rob, tell us how you feel, because I know you've been quiet about them as of recently, but spring training's coming around, and you kind of got to get back into the loop. I know we got the World Baseball Classic, but hey, they just got back out to Tampa. They're running back the same lineup. I know they get Garrett Cole back, but
okay. let me sit up for this. So last week, I forget what day of the week it was, I get an alert on my phone. It was either from The Athletic or ESPN, and it was an article with a title talking about how why the Yankees running back the same lineup isn't as bad as everyone thinks it is. Are they secretly getting paid by Steinbrenner and Cashman? What are we talking about? It's not as bad as you think it is. Did they watch the same games that I watched in the past, what is it now, 9 years of them losing in the playoffs? The only time they made the World Series was because the AL was so damn weak. If they didn't make it, it would be a disgrace to baseball. But they did, and then they got ran off the field by the Dodgers. I am so sick. The New York media should be hounding this team, hounding Cashman. A lot of them do. I'll give them credit. But the Yankees running back the same lineup gives fans no hope. No, there's no excitement. Oh, Garrett Cole's coming back. Okay. The problem is never ends up being pitching. It's the fact that the hitting is always an issue. When they face good pitching in the playoffs, everybody's bats go cold. They can't get a hit with 2 outs. 2-out hitting, the most important thing in baseball. I'll say that till the day I die. The Yankees, I can't even remember the last time they did. It was actually probably 2016. Gary Sanchez in the playoffs versus the Astros. That's it. I mean, it's just insane. And you have people writing legitimate articles for legitimate media sources saying, oh, it's okay if they run back the same lineup. What are we watching here, man? But no, they'll drag us along. They'll drag us along all season. They'll find a way to make the playoffs because, listen, the rotation is solid. I'll give them that. The rotation is solid. The bullpen, I don't know what's going on in the bullpen. They had a lot of arms leave. Not a lot of arms came the other way. But the lineup, okay. So who's there outside of Aaron Judge? I would love to know. We're going to just talk about Cody Bellinger? Okay.
You all right?
I'm not all right. I'm so over this team. People are like, why do you care so much? Because then you got to hear people say, oh, all Yankees fans bring up 27 rings. No, they don't. Not real fans that, no, you can't drag that anymore because there's a generation like James and I who can't remember a World Series ring. We don't know about the greatness that was the New York Yankees. Yeah. We know about the coming up short New York Yankees. That's about it. We talked about needing change with Adam Silver. How about the 2 men in charge at Yankee Stadium? Maybe there needs to be some change there.
Yeah, and the thing is, I would say they've been not successful, but they've been competing for years, and I guess they won a ring in 2009. But it's not the same. It's not the same. I saw a post and someone was ranking the top 10 fan bases in New York, and I think it was like the Nets, the Jets, the Islanders, and you get to the top 3, and the Knicks are at 3. The Bills, which I don't count as a New York team, it's a Canadian team, right? That's up there. I don't count that as a New York team, but hey, sure, put them at 2. And then number 1, the Yankees. And I can't put the Yankees up there at 1 because, the Knicks have been terrible for years, and the fans stick around no matter what. The Yankees, I guess, in the 90s, we saw a lot of winning. And that alone brings a lot of fans. But they have what kind of pisses me off is it's not like the NBA and the NFL where you just have to wait. You just have to wait your turn, rebuild, go through the draft.
Disgusting.
They are in the number 1 market in America. They have all the money in the world. If I want a chicken basket at Yankee Stadium, I'm paying $25 and change. You want a burger? $40.
That's all they care about.
Steak sandwich, $20-something.
That's all they care about.
They've got the money. So it's not the same where those other fan bases, the Bills fans have watched they watched their team lose 4 Super Bowls in a row. The Knicks haven't won since the 70s. And it's they're in the NFL and NBA, it's all chance. In the MLB, like the Dodgers have been doing, you can quite literally buy yourself a ring. Go and spend the money. You know what?
It's delusion. It's just delusion. I think Cashman and Hal are they're starting to believe their own delusion. Like they truly believe that because they made the World Series, that they were just as good as the Dodgers and things just didn't go their way because they played the Blue Jays, because they were in a series versus the Blue Jays and the Blue Jays end up going on to the World Series, forcing it to go 7 games. They believe that, hey, it just didn't go our way. I truly believe that's how they think. They don't look at it as, we were in a series with them.
I don't think
but
it was
we
close.
weren't actually in the series with them. They were up here, we were down here. No. In Hal and Cash Line, it's like this. Just one solid team, and just the cookies didn't crumble the right way. I truly believe. I mean, I don't know how else you could explain it, because if they watch the same games that every fan has watched, the Yankees, they lose the same way every single year. So I don't know if they're just cool with that. I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. It's terrible though.
And I will say, like, watching that Blue Jay series, I mean, I'm looking every time Vlad came up to bat, you get a feeling in your stomach like something's about to go south for the Yankees.
Yep.
I can't say I felt the same way for any of our batters. Yes, Aaron Judge had his moment. Finally, it was about time, but yes, he had his moment. But not a single guy on our roster made me feel like, all right, he's going to get something done here every time he stepped up to the plate. I mean, every single time Vladimir Guerrero Jr. stepped up to the plate, he gave you a competitive at-bat.
100%.
He maybe put the ball in play. Maybe it was a ground out. Maybe it was a fly out. But he was competitive. They put the ball in play during that series.
Yeah, think about the amount of role players that the Blue Jays had that would have timely hits. Even the Dodgers, just so many different guys that it's like, oh, here it is. There's the big home run from so-and-so that, you're like, oh, there it is. Like, the Yankees don't get that. They don't get that out of the bottom half of their lineup. We just get pop-ups and ground outs and strikeouts, just the most unproductive stuff in the world. It aggravates me. Like, again, they'll reel me back in by the time the playoffs roll around, and I'll never root for them to lose in the playoffs. That's just insanity. But
never. I
can't talk about them for too long. A team that's simply not about it. But I will tell you something that is about it. And this is one of our newer segments, the about it, not about it of the week. If you know us, you know that being about it is just, maybe it's clutch. Maybe you're just about it. Once we start talking about the people that make it, you'll understand. So my about it of the week is the Penn State wrestling team. I mean, they are arguably the most dominant dynasty that we are seeing in modern day sports. I know a lot of people probably don't even know about them, but they had a 1 versus 2 matchup in their basketball and concert arena on Friday night, where they set a new attendance record with over 16,000 people packing the arena. 1 versus 2 versus Ohio State. They won 36-5. They made it look like a damn scrimmage. This is now their 6th straight regular season Big Ten title and the 12th overall under Coach Cale Sanderson. I mean, what they're doing, that wrestling program is absolutely insane. The definition of about it. If you want to know what we mean when we say being about it, just Penn State wrestling. It's absolutely insane what they have going on over there.
Yeah. And you bring up Penn State wrestling. I think I only went to 2 wrestling events when I was at Penn State. But when I did, they were at the Bryce Jordan Center. And man, do they know how to put on a show.
Unbelievable.
I mean, when the players come out, Flame is coming out the entrance. Like, it's like you're at almost like a WWE event on the college scale, obviously. And it brings me back to Penn State basketball, unfortunately. I don't know why we are not putting the money into the basketball program the way they put the effort they do into the wrestling program. Like you said, that's a program that is about it. Honestly, they're beyond about it.
Fair enough.
About it is here, right? Like, we put the UConn Huskies here.
About it.
Right? That's about it. Penn State wrestling is like times 2 of whatever that is. They, I didn't understand wrestling a lot, like, when I got to Penn State, and then I looked into it, right? I mean, they run the table. And it's like not even a debate, what's the best pro. No, it's Penn State wrestling. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be that way for a while.
Oh, yeah.
As long as Sanderson's there, it's going to be that way for a while.
And you talk about other Penn State, programs. I hate to say it, for an athletic program that can really be defined as not about it, coming up short football-wise, basketball teams nowhere to be found. That's just not the case for Penn State. They're about it. So,
yeah.
I mean, if you're not tapped into college wrestling and you want to find a place to start, definitely go ahead. with the Nittany Lions. I mean, it's just pure
Definitely.
domination. There's just, I mean, again, 1 versus 2, 36-5 was the final. I know some of you probably won't even understand the scoring. Just take a quick look, but that's just pure domination. Another just pure dominant athlete, Scottie Scheffler, is just absolutely insane. He didn't win this week. I mean, he hasn't won the past 2 weeks. The golf tournaments have been absolutely insane, but I mean, he is so good at golf that it's literally becoming a meme where people are saying that he's purposely not trying on the first day of tournaments because if he does, it's just too easy for him to win. So he's like, I'm not going to try, and then I'll try to play catch up on everybody else. I mean, he shot 9 under on Sunday, and it could have been even more. It could have been 11 under.
He had 3 eagles in that round. That's dominance. Like, I know the scoreboard or his scorecard at the end of the tournament didn't show that he was the winner, but like to come out and play around like that, he's so monotone too. Like he after he'd finished up his round, he's talking to us and he says, "Yeah, I just had to just give myself a chance." You give yourself a chance. You went and shot 3 eagles. How many birdies was it in a row?
Oh, I mean, there was a lot. It's just Scottie being Scottie. I mean, like it's so funny. You ask me a question like that, how many birdies in a row, like the scoring. It's just like with Scottie, it all becomes a blur. It literally just becomes a blur. Other guys, you remember it off rip because like, wow, they had an insane round. With Scottie, it's just all a blur. He does this week in, week out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, one day his driver looks a little off. The next day, there's no question. He's gonna get it fixed. Other guys, it's a whole week, maybe a couple weeks process of working something out in their swing. Yeah. Not Scottie. I mean, now he's got. So stat came out, most consecutive top 4 finishes on PGA Tour in the last 40 years. Tiger, 06, 07, he had 8 straight top 4 finishes. 07, 08, 8 straight. Scottie Scheffler now, the only golfer, 25, 26, 8 straight active top 4 finishes. I believe Tiger won 7 of those events both times that he did it. Scottie hasn't won as many, but still just so insanely impressive. Again, I told you, if you're not tapped in with college basketball, now's the time. If you're not tapped in with college wrestling, tap in with Penn State. If you're not watching the PGA Tour, I'm begging you, this season, it's got a different feel to it. The way these tournaments have been going the past few weeks, we had a playoff, then another amazing finishing at Pebble Beach. You got the Genesis coming up at Riviera. It's going to be another phenomenal golf tournament. I'm telling you, you got to start watching golf. Don't say it's boring. It's not boring. Just appreciate the game and what these guys are doing. I'm telling you.
And I think if you say watching golf,
bless you.
Watching golf is boring. You just don't love golf, or you haven't gotten into it fully.
Yeah, all you gotta do is swing the club a couple of times. You'll appreciate what these guys do and just how hard it is.
And watching that finish yesterday was amazing. I mean, Pebble Beach Pro-Am is a signature event. Like it's amazing to watch. Like it watching, Colin Morikawa, that's his first win in almost 800 days or so.
Yeah, it was a long time since he won.
Getting to see his wife get emotional up there with him was awesome. Minwoo Lee is another guy who I love. Like I love the vibe he gives off on social media. And, he put up a great round as well. But for Scottie to go out there and shoot that 63, go 9 under. I mean, the course record is a 60. Like he's unreal. He's unreal. And he's going to put together another great year. I know it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's coming.
He's favored in every golf tournament he plays, and that's just how you know that, you hold the crown. But before we get out of here, a little quick take. This is something we'll probably do at the end of most episodes, just some little quick takes. But for this week, not sports related. This is more in the music industry. So I saw all over my TikTok For You page and even on Twitter a little bit this past week, there was a little debate going on about who would win in a battle between NBA YoungBoy and Future. And James, I want to know, what do you got on that, James? What do you got on that? Because I know who I'm taking. I don't even think it's close. I mean, I know one guy has like a cult fan base. I mean, the other guy has a big fan base too, but they're maybe not as delusional. I think Future mops the floor with YB.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for YoungBoy's, like his influence in the Deep South, I think that ring of states, it's like Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, even Texas a little bit, he's got them on lock. Like he's got the bayou on lock. Like if it wasn't for that and them spreading the influence elsewhere, this wouldn't even be like a brought up debate to begin with. Future's been doing it for years.
Listen, I just had to bring it up. I mean, there were a lot of people in the comments talking about how you don't realize how good YB is. And, he would listen. I don't see it. I mean, I respect, him and his fan base. I'm not the biggest YB guy myself. I'm more, I would say Future that's the king of trap.
Yeah.
He
flows. He flows. And we talk about, I love Gunna. Gunna's my favorite artist. Like, he just has a flow. Future is right there with him. He's got another flow where it's like, you can turn this on and you just hear him it's like water. He's just bouncing off the beat back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
NBA YoungBoy, I feel like it's an acquired taste. May not be for me, but he's got great music. Like, he's got great. I don't know about great, but he's got music that a lot of people love. But he drops so much music. I mean, he's dropped 34 albums, and I think he's been out for maybe since 2016. 34 albums in about 10 years is ridiculous. And only 9 of them were official studio albums. So I think we're oversaturated. There was one year where he dropped about 12 albums and mixtapes combined. I think that was 2022.
Insane.
Don't quote me on that. But can we relax? Can we take a moment to process the last album? And I think Future lets us do that, but he takes time with his music.
But now Future's actually teasing another album. And people are like, the snippets sound like incredible.
They do. And it's what he does. The only thing is, I feel bad for Future because there's just so much music out right now.
Yeah.
There's just so much music coming out. And it kind of takes away from how good music can really be. And I think that's, technology has just gotten so much better. So it's easier to make music, and it's quicker, and it's, it takes 2 seconds. Like, editing a video, you edit a sound bite. Yeah, it takes 2 seconds to edit the music up. So we just get so much of it. And I guess YoungBoy says, why not? I got the free time. I can make an album in a night. Just drop it. But I like when an artist is selective. Like Don Toliver, he just dropped that album. I think album of the year so far. I know the year just started, but amazing. Like, from song 1 to song 18, I can listen to that. I think I've listened to it 30 times through all the way.
Yeah,
like, it's
solid
album. But Future does that. He gives you, a time to process his last album, let it sit, let it marinate. You listen to it, and then you listen to the next one. You take your time. Travis Scott, he'll give you 3-4 years in between he drops another project. Drake will give you a year. He's going to give you a year to process that. NBA YoungBoy, it's a lot of music. People love it. I don't know. Me, I think it's good, not great. And I think Future has a lot of great music. So, and his music is timeless too.
Yeah.
It's a little different. So
yeah, he's been doing it.
I'm taking Future. If I had to decide, what am I going to listen to for the rest of my life, NBA YoungBoy or Future, I'm going with Future.
Yeah, I mean, the catalog pick, I think, is easily Future. I think some people were trying to make it more of if they were in a rap battle, who would you still take? I would still take Future. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. I mean, you really get to see people's music takes on social media and just how, and it's a very, very subjective thing. People hear one thing, someone's gonna think it's trash. Other people, and they just think it's the best thing ever heard. But
yeah, subjective. I think a lot of people have opinions also. It's a great weekend. Valentines Day just passed, and I don't know if Rob had a great one or not. I got a lot of texts from Saturday about Valentine's Day.
I have no this is just insane.
Hey,
all right, bro.
How do you feel about Valentine's Day?
I
don't know. I had a great one.
I mean, what are we doing here?
I was watching college basketball. I had a great time. That was my Valentine's.
Okay.
The TV was my Valentine. Okay. How do you feel about it? What are your thoughts? If you had a significant other, how would you feel?
Listen, first off, I got my forever Valentines. I got my mom and my sister. Those are my forever Valentines. My mom,
is true.
A lot of people ask me, you got someone that you're talking to? Any serious for this Valentine? I talk to God every day. On some shout out Speedy for that. But I don't know. I mean, listen, I made a video. I mean, this is the vibe of the Hillside Club. This is the vibe that we want. It's not going to all be about sports. We want to have conversations, a good time. I made a video about it, and that if you were single this Valentine's Day and you were upset about it, don't be. It's fine. Just protect your peace. Keep moving on with your life. There's people in relationships where things aren't great and their significant others dropping hundreds of their hard-earned dollars on it. So that's kind of my take on Valentine's Day. Obviously, it's big. It's another big social media holiday where everyone's got to post about it. But hey, I'm not a hater, right? Like I said, I got my forever Valentines. My mom, my sister went out to dinner. My grandma, my family. I had a great time. So I don't know why you think you're gonna catch me on some. How you're trying to catch me with some crazy take? Come on now. Too composed for that.
Here's my thing about Valentine's, and I think it's a lot with all holidays as of late.
It's a pretty special holiday for you, I feel like.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. He's losing his mind over here. But Valentine's and just like a lot of these holidays have turned into like a social media marketing device for people. I don't know. My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. It's about family and food. I don't think it gets better than that.
Football too. Don't forget football.
Yeah, football. And sports is right there. So those three things,
oh man,
you can have a lifetime of enjoyment from those three right there.
There you go.
Right? So, I mean, the best moments in life comes from those three. So, Valentine's Day, just like a lot of these other holidays, has turned into more than it needs to be. If you have a significant other, go to dinner, you do whatever you guys love to do, you have a great time. I don't know why everyone's rolling out stories and posts like, they've got there's activations coming and they had a whole marketing campaign. They met with their executives and this is what they're going to drop on their story. Today, we're going to drop a post at 4. We're going to drop a 2-story post at 7. And then at 9 p.m., we're going to drop a rose and a candlelit dinner photo.
In case you guys can't tell, James is a hater of love. He really is, man.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
You know what?
Let people be, man.
Episode.
Yeah, we really do got to wrap this up. This conversation could go south real quick, man.
Yeah.
But, appreciate you guys tuning in to another episode. I mean, again, this is the vibe of the Hillside Club. We're gonna have a great time. This is our favorite part of the week, recording for you guys. So thank you for tuning in again.
Yeah.
And
before we get out of here though, got to shout out our producer in the back.
Yeah, yes sir,
Oscar Navarro. Keeping us in check. He's doing what he's got to do back there. So thank you to Oscar.
Thank you, Oscar.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm James Martin III.
I'm Rob Cardini.
It's the Hillside Club. Thank you guys for watching.
See you next week.